Hey everyone, Harold Fisher here, anchor and host of the Daily Drum on WHUR. Welcome to yet another edition of HUR at Home on WHUR.com and all of our social media platforms. Well, tonight on HUR at Home, we're talking to Michelle Davis Younger. She is the mayor-elect of Manassas City, Virginia. Madam Mayor-elect, thank you so much for talking to us and congratulations.
Thank you very much, Harold. It's such a privilege to be with you tonight. Thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. So you have checked a lot of boxes as it relates to your win as the mayor-elect of Manassas City. You are the first woman. You are the first African American. You are the first Democrat. Any other firsts we need to know about that have so far gone unspoken?
No, I don't think so. In 2018, I was the first woman of color to get elected to the council. So there was a first then. And so 2 years later, here I am again, like you said, checking all those boxes, breaking all those ceilings. So glass is everywhere, as they've been saying lately. And just, I've always been that type of person that has looked for opportunities to break down barriers so others can follow me. And so this just seems natural and the next logical step, and the time was right.
How did you do that? Manassas City it's very diverse. It has a significant Hispanic population, African American population, about 20%. It is politically diverse, ethnically diverse. So how did Michelle Davis Younger get it done?
All the things you just said, the change came, and it had been there, but there weren't many people who were interested in getting into the political world. And so, as I said, I always look for opportunities where I can make a change. And that was one in 18. And then this was the second one. I could actually be mayor. Are you kidding? The Manassas has changed. It, being the place of the first land battles of the Civil War, and now you have an African American woman as mayor, is like, wow. And people often say Manassas is changing. No, it changed. It changed a while ago. It just took the government a while to catch up. And so I think the way that I have conducted myself as a leader, and more importantly, as a bridge builder, reaching across, has spoken volumes to people. I try not to see party. I really don't. And I see people. How can I help you get to the next level? We're all in this together, and we all make our city better. So making people feel a part of the process and feel my heart that it goes out. And when I get up, we all get up. When I get lifted, we all get lifted. This is a victory for the entire city of Manassas, and long overdue. I just think riding the blue wave, the whole that whole thing when it started in 18 and just continuing on into now, and then especially now, what a better time. And I think it's timing, and people were ready, and they spoke on the 3rd. So
what was your platform for Manassas? Manassas is not large, and so how does one campaign for mayor in a small but, let me add, a significant city? And that's not a platitude. I mean, it's just like, Manassas City, Alexandria, Arlington, each of those cities is really, really politically important, to this part of Northern Virginia. So how do you campaign like that, and particularly during a pandemic?
Campaigning during a pandemic is something that I don't wish on anyone. It's very difficult to do. Begging for money and that kind of thing. I didn't knock doors. We just did lit drops. So I miss that because I am such a people person. I miss the door knocking and talking to people and letting them look me in the face and look me in my eye and see how serious I am. One thing current leadership has been in that seat since 2009, uncontested. Nobody ever ran against the current mayor in all those years. And so when I announced in December I'm running, I didn't know what his plans were. And so I didn't know if he would run against me for his seat or not. I didn't know, but I just knew that I needed to step up to make the change. My platform was, I'm from Manassas. I'm hometown. What better person to step forward? I worked as a substitute teacher. I wanted to build on and want to build on relationship with the school board and make our schools better. Just economic development. I have an HR background. I talk about that a lot because I feel it is significant to reaching people and having discussions at the table, having the finesse and the skills to cut deals and make things happen. You have to be able to read people and know people to get them to sit down at the table and agree, to come to agreements. I need you in Manassas, and this is why. People often say, you're the one, you're the face of the city. We want to see you represent us at the table. And it's because you have that personality that reaches out and grabs people and makes them, hey, what she got going on? So just constantly speaking about the things that I know from my heart and things that I could only know from being here my whole entire life, growing up here in Manassas, seeing the change that has happened. Who better to talk about and lead the city into the next decade when we have such a diverse population now? Like you said, Hispanic, Black folks, it is just the right time to lead that demographic forward and make them become more involved. Involvement in our city is one thing that I really pushed, is that you have a seat at the table, you just need to come and sit down. But you don't usually have leaders who say that and let them know there are opportunities available for them. And that's something that's really important to me. This is your city. Run it. Get involved. Don't wait for people to come and seek you out. You seek opportunities to work. And so that's just kind of what I tried to get people to see, that, with me in leadership, you're going to see a mayor who's out in the public, who's putting their arms around the entire city, not just certain neighborhoods and certain circles, but everyone. Everyone will have a voice.
Can you talk specifically about what your first priority will be once you are sworn in?
For me, well, what's facing us right now, COVID, getting our businesses through COVID, getting, just our regular citizens through COVID, cut back with restrictions. Businesses are going to not be able to have more than 25 folks, making sure they can stay afloat and not close. That's the main thing, is seeing us through these next few months. It's going to get worse with, winter time coming, as we've been warned. Our schools still making a decision whether to go back, whether to still be virtual, trying to help lead and guide those conversations so that everybody's not going to be happy with all the decisions we make. But I think hearing and listening to all opinions and coming to common ground, continuing our economic development, our growth, bringing businesses into the city. But first and foremost, it is really COVID, just getting us through the next few months, through this entire thing. And for however long, we hope it'll go away, but the time will tell. We've just got to make sure that we have the necessary equipment, funding in place, our CARES funds, making sure that folks' needs are met. Business and just regular everyday, Jane and Joe citizen are getting the things that they need. So priorities in that regard, that is first and foremost, is making sure that we can meet those needs.
Your victory was a reflection of what we are seeing, nationally. This was not it was not a landslide. It was, yeah. With it, and so with that as an issue, whether it's Manassas City or dealing with some of the issues that the country is able to deal with, how are you going to bridge the gap between your Democratic politics and the Republican politics, the progressive politics, the conservative politics, the that are in Manassas City. How can you bring people together? What's your secret sauce? Because there are folks on Capitol Hill who can't even get in the kitchen with this, to put the ingredients together for the secret sauce. So what's yours?
I have, since day one, I have been labeled the bridge builder, and it's I've earned it. I really do feel that I am the type. I have the type of personality. I have those skills where I reach out to everyone. Can we just talk? When I was running the campaign, I did roundtables where I invited, and I want to continue this on after mayor, doing quarterly roundtables I did with faith leaders. I did it with businesses. I did it with regular everyday citizens. And it did not matter what party, I didn't care. I just reached out and said, hey, join me on this Saturday or Sunday, sit around, talk to me, get in the Zoom with me, tell me the things that you're facing, that you're dealing with. People need to hear this. I want to do the same thing as mayor, have these roundtables, have these discussions. You have to have uncomfortable conversations. And that is the only way that you're going to make progress. If you meet people where they are, keep your mind open, talk honestly and open, you can make it happen. I don't judge people. I accept them where they are. I meet needs where they are. And I think if you just bring the right attitude, and people have enough respect for me that they just kind of go, all right, well, Michelle, we can't say no to Michelle, that kind of thing. Because I approach everyone with that attitude that this is about us. This is about making our city the best that we can make it. I can't do it alone. I need everyone's help. So I don't Republican, Dem, whatever. If you're a business owner, I'm going to invite you. If you're a Republican, I'm going to invite you because I need to hear all the opinions. I need to hear from everyone. How are you going to fix anything if you don't acknowledge it? We all know that. And my problems on my side of town or where I am are not the problems on somebody else. I need to be made aware. And I can't do that if I don't sit down and talk. So the invitation is going to be there. Hopefully they'll get accepted. And I think they will. When people know you are sincere and you are reaching out, I think it's just almost an obligation. Like, wow, she really reached out to me. She is keeping up with that promise that she made. It's hard to say no. And so I'm hopeful that I'll be able to do that. At this level, local is where it's at. And I need people to understand that you make the changes that affect your life directly right here locally. It's so important.
You mentioned about the promises that she made. There were a couple of midterm elections ago when so many women were elected to Capitol Hill, you could argue that 2020 may be seen also as the year, of the woman. Do you feel any additional pressure or responsibility as the first woman mayor of Manassas City? What, is that?
Yeah.
Is that an advantage indeed for you in your leadership and management skills?
It can be. It's a different perspective altogether than what's been there forever. A lot of women came out. Yeah, I voted for you. I just want to see a woman in there. Great. It is a different perspective. It is a different outlook. It is, I think, harder because you're having to prove, you know the stories of how you have to prove yourself. If I ask for something, there's a why, or really you want that, so, and the mansplaining, which gets done a lot that we hear about. So fighting through all of that, you would know about that, right?
Whatever do you mean? I'm not sure I understand what you're talking about.
So fighting through, not fighting, but trying to, I'm here. Let's get past the fact that I'm a woman. We got work to do. And I will just continue to push that narrative that we have work to do. Forget the gender stuff. We got work to do, but it is a totally different perspective. A woman has a totally different perspective in many situations that a lot of people don't, a lot of men don't. And so it is an adjustment period. I think that more so than being the person of color, for people getting over that, I think the woman part is going to be more difficult. I don't know. Never had a woman in that role, well, now you do. So I will not bring it up. I will, because that is not what I ran on. I don't want people to like I said, women said they elected me because they wanted me because it was a woman. It would be a change, but get beyond it. I'm here now. Let's do the work. Let's get it done. Regardless, we gotta get moving. So it's inspiring.
You know that there's an old saying, behind every great woman is a man. And you understand that you got a great guy behind you. Talk to me about, what it was like for your husband, to, watching his wife just, take off into the political stratosphere. I mean, this isn't new for him.
Right. He, my biggest supporter, besides my campaign manager, been behind me 100%. I talked about not necessarily being in the political realm. I just kind of had it in the back of my mind, for years, but never thought anything like this level. He's always pushed me out of my comfort zones in many different areas. And you have the personality. People believe in you. They trust you. Do you know the levels you could go to, and just constantly pushing me. And then I have my parents, who you've probably read about. They were born and raised in Manassas and never left. They're 82 and my dad will be 87. So for them, they're pushing me, you can do it, baby girl. You got this. I mean, they saw the ugly side, the very ugly side of segregated Manassas, to their daughter being the mayor. Places they could not go in, sit in, eat in, having food poked out through a hole in a restaurant. And now their daughter is the mayor. That right there just gives you goosebumps. I have so much support and people who believe in me, and I'm thankful for that. When I said earlier, it's a victory for the entire city. When you see a homegrown person, little Shelly, who was running around on dirt roads with no shoes on, now the mayor, it is amazing. It's a victory for everyone. So constant support. He pushes me, there for me, help out with parents, because my parents live with me. So that's a whole other aspect of it. And he's there 100%, 110%. The kids are like, yeah, okay. They're like, my daughter's still in high school, and she's like, yeah, the teachers kind of know. They're like, yeah, I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But I can get stuff done quickly for you if you need, pay some phone call, use it. But yeah, it's an adjustment. My son was running around on election night going, I'm the first kid. I'm the first kid. And I'm like, he's so funny. 21, he's like running around. I'm the first kid. And I'm like, okay, baby, that's good.
And you probably said, if you don't sit down, you're going to be the last kid.
Yeah, like, what are you doing? Okay, I'm glad I could do that for you, Joseph.
Yeah, boy.
Down. Yeah, that's why I did all of this, just for you to be first kid. So
that's a great story, but you have 3 votes in the House. You don't want to lose those, and you have some other future voters, so you want to make sure that you continue to groom them as well.
Right. Yeah, exactly. It is an amazing feeling. Like, the sweet spot is between November and January. Right now, it's oh great, I'm the mayor, and then it's January. Oh, I'm the mayor. Like, what in the world did I just do? But to whom much is given, much is required. So yeah, it's an amazing, it's a lovely, wonderful load to bear that I would not have asked for if I did not think I could do it. And I certainly can step right into it. It'll be some work, but it's worth it. to have broken down all those barriers. And now more women, more young girls will come because she did that. You know, her portrait will be hanging up in City Hall someday. You know, it's just amazing. It is an amazing feeling to know that I've done that and I've paved the way. And so for them to come along.
Well, I want to congratulate you again, Michelle Davis Younger, Madam Mayor-elect of Manassas City, Virginia. You've got a whole bucket full of firsts. And again, you know, we salute you. Congratulations. And when you have your work cut out, we'll continue to watch. And I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Harold. I chased you down for a while and I finally got you. Thank you.
You know, sometimes you gotta do great things to get on my show.
You break barriers, and you know, what can I do next is president or something. So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. I don't know. You may not want that one.
I know.
Ooh, yeah. Michelle Davis Younger, thank you again. Take care of yourself and please be safe and enjoy the holiday.
Thank you so much, and you as well.
Thank you so much.
Have a
that
good
is it for this edition of HUR at Home. I'm Harold Fisher, and as always, I will see you on the